Yeah, it's a really weird one, isn't it? I mean, you just don't expect to have that kind of answer in an interview. I was quite boggled.
That's matchmaking tier. It's like everyone's like, okay, what do we do? Someone says, let's go A, and then someone's like, yeah, I'll fake B. No!
Well, we'll see what HellRaisers' call is. This was always an amazing map. I always recall just Angel having a beast of a game every time I saw him in Overpass. So really curious about this one. I think it's going to be a pretty even matchup between these two teams as we wait and see what HellRaisers decide to do as far as their choice on a bomb site is. And it looks as though they're going to be going in towards the sewers after making a lot of noise towards Connector. We have some utility here on Steeko as Zero will make his way through the monster tunnel, looking for the first engagements here, trying to split this defense, seeing what else he can get done. That's a nice entry from Zero there, turning his attention quickly to Markelov, but it was all a ruse, James.
Oh, it's a trap, man. He's been sold out. There were 4 people on the A bomb site, and now FlipSid will be funneled back towards the A side. However, there will be 1 player on the flank, that is Markelov, but maybe he won't get there in time because Electronic's being taken down. Blade is stuck, and Angel, he's got more bullets than the USP. He is spamming for days, manages to get his reload in, but he can't get the kill. Markelov still on the flank in his 3-on-3, quickly made into a 3-on-2. Last 2 CTs coming in from the B bomb site area. Deadbox, range distraction, the flanks there from Steeko. Great stuff from HellRaisers. Well, that it has a lot to do. He has a kit, but really, it should be impossible for him. They don't need to all peek. They could go for a multi-peek, but they'll just kill time instead, and then Deadfox will get the last frag of the round. HellRaisers 1-0.
Yeah, really nice start to the round. I do actually like that they decided to send Zero alone towards B. Obviously, there's going to be spots where he gets nothing done there, but it's more or less just that I think in a pistol round, the CTs are very antsy, it's very easy to almost overreact and want to kind of over-rotate. So they kind of tried to use that against FlipSid to get themselves on that A bomb site. Worked the tree, got the guaranteed bomb plant. Now we see the AKs are out. UMP there for Bondik and a Galil for Steeko. So not opting to go for too many SMGs here, which is quite interesting. And you would expect to see a round play out where they focus on the longer ranges in the map. So Toilers, the A-long area, is usually where you would probably run an anti-force by anyway. So would imagine they'll try to finish the round there after they start to poke. Their initial poking and prodding is done, and they can figure out whether or not FlipSid want to get aggressive early. And we can see FlipSid's. I like their positioning around sewers, actually. It does allow for fast rotation to Connector. But here it is. We'll have Electron going for a peek. Actually gets 1, and there's a second as well. And the bomb. Okay, James, this has not gone too well here for HellRaisers. How can they save this one?
Can we just note that there was a flash perfectly through the window in case Electronic was getting pushed from the back as well. And it's a scary approach from HellRaisers through Connector, because often on a force buy from the CTs, you can have lots of people in Connector causing problems, and he got those kills on his own. So that was an unknown, which has been cleared up by HellRaisers. 45 seconds for them to correct these issues. And maybe what it will be the bait. Oh, Angel caught on a reload. Perfect timing from Blade.
And Steeko going in, can find himself 2, but the Galil is not going to be able to get him 2 kills. Zero will have to swing around and try to save it, but Waylander there with the pistol is going to be able to finish things off. What an upsetting situation that HellRaisers have found themselves in after that pistol victory.
Indeed, success was very brief. Now we question if FlipSid can capitalize on these advantages. FAMAS is coming out. Waylander with the AK, ding dong. Electronic ringing the bells above Connector. And to get 2 kills in that position on your own from Connector, again, so scary for HellRaisers to try and capitalize. But it's really nice to see that pop flash from FlipSid just in case somebody was trying to push Electronic through Connector. That is great to see from them, a team who clearly don't always have the best coordination. Pop flashes from the CT side will yield them 3 kills. That's a great start to an anti-eco round or anti-force buy round.
Yeah, it is, and now it's pretty much a simple case to just find the last player. Blade will go ahead and do that, and 5 players will survive. An ideal situation for FlipSid, and on the CT side too, it's just so nice to be able to get your economy off to a good start. Be able to pull the orbs out as soon as you want, and be able to do so when you have enough nades to back them up as well. And you also, I think, have a clearer picture of your opponent's economy, what kind of buys they're going to go for when you're landing yourself in a situation like this early on. So I think that's ideal for a man like Blade to make the calls, but
man like Blade,
we'll see whether or not that will be the case, and whether HellRaisers have some tricks up their sleeves to try and get rid of this all the money that's starting to accumulate on FlipSid. I would imagine that this round will be fairly quick though. HellRaisers kind of splitting up almost as though it's like a gun round default here, but they only have Glocks and no armor. So Hard times ahead.
Yeah, you might hope it's a quick one, but often Glock rounds tends to be painstakingly slow and don't really get very far. Glocks versus armor is not a cakewalk by any means. In fact, there's no cake in sight whatsoever. It's more dry and arid, like a biscuit or a Krakow, perhaps.
Cake is a lie. Cake is a lie.
Nerd.
Ooh, okay. This would be really sick if Mono can get a knife here as well. And maybe steal the gun away, get some extra information, maybe get a follow-up kill here. And, ooh, there it is!
In the back.
Gets himself the knife. That's also a pickup of a FAMAS in the back. And you can see that he's going to take down Blade there. And all of a sudden, Bondik has created issues. He's even got a smoke here to play off of if he really wants to use that. And the only issue is he has no Kevlar. So he has to get the first bullet connected. He won't do so. But to get 2 kills, one of which being a knife frag, that's beast. That's amazing work there.
That is far more than you could hope for on a Glock round to get a knife kill. How do you get a knife kill on a Glock round?
Oh, he just walked all the way up long, man. No one was looking at long.
What is the science behind that? That is absolutely bananas. A precision incision from Bondik. That is bonus money and then some. Awkward for the CT side because you see the possession of the balloon area for the Ts. The CTs have to face both ways. And with the Glock, from some ranges, he would have to shoot them in the head 3 times to kill them. I know, I've been there. I've been there. Anyway, both teams on the buy. Well did it on the AWP. More a Skadoodle-esque AWPer than, say, a more aggressive style. He's one of the dependable ones. It was a stark difference back when Simple was on the team as well. Like night and day.
I've been enjoying Stiko's development as a player. I mean, we first took note of him back in when he kind of broke into FPL like a couple of years back. And we'll see some poking coming there on towards A long. The utility here is starting to run fairly low for HellRaisers, so they're finding themselves at a point in the round where they kind of have to go for it with the utility that they have, the positions that they have, and perhaps the entries as well. But some good counter utility utilized by FlipSid will actually slow down the efforts of HellRaisers on their approach to that B-bomb site. So they're going to have to rethink this one. They still have 3 smokes left and 2 Molotovs. They didn't commit fully after Zero did get that pick off. And in this 4 versus 4, still a good chance for them to open up that A-bomb sites. FlipSid have got fairly passive positions. The first man to worry about is going to be Electronic towards the toilets area. Another smoke from him. So 30 seconds remain, and will HellRaisers have enough time? That's the question.
FlipSid, no one is pushing Monster at the moment, but I don't know if anybody's through Monster. Electronic just standing in the smoke. Blade left in the B bomb site. Well, there might be a rotation from the CTs. Absolute madness. Where does that kill come from? I have no idea. Oh, wasn't it? He's doing this job. Bomb cannot quite get planted right now. The time is running out. The numbers are in the red. 6 seconds. No choice but to go down fighting. 3 plays surviving for FlipSid is not bad on the first buy round for both teams. And Miyanko spoke about the strength of Overpass for HellRaisers, but I have to say, at least in terms of support from teammate to teammate, FlipSid have looked really coordinated. There've been lots of very quick pop flashes, or counter flashes if you will, for respective teammates in various positions which have yielded them results or information. So hopefully that will continue and we'll have a nice map on our hands. For now though, HellRaisers will be on the eco.
Yeah, and I think and that last round pays largely to the fact that FlipSid are very good at sort of seeing what was happening for HellRaisers and just getting the utility down just in time to basically make it a pretty bad play for HellRaisers to commit. And then HellRaisers were like, well, plan A didn't work, plan B didn't work. What are we left with now? We'll see a quick rush in onto this B-bomb site. They're going to hope for some frags here, a bomb plant as well. And I don't think they'll manage to win the round, but we'll see what they can do. The chaos, the madness with the Tech 9s can always provide problems. The bomb will go down and some frags are coming into play. Electronic in from the back though with the MP9. Gets himself a couple nice frags there. A 3rd one in fact, as Angel will finally fall by the water. And that will be the defuse coming in for FlipSid. A very nice retake. Those situations can get a bit out of hand, and almost did. But a 5-1 will be the score as FlipSid start to control the situation once again.
Bonus money, MP9 kills, throw it away afterwards, pick up an M4. Perfect for Electronic at the very least. 7 kills, as is the in-game leader Blade, also on 7, but Markelov, Lord Markelov, as far as Anders is concerned, is leading the charge with 8 kills. Nice. 5-1. Dead Fox now joins the AWP club.
And And this aggressive setup here from FlipSid could be quite interesting as Markov is looking for a good moment to go in. Obviously, he can support his teammates. We've got, I believe, Electronic by the fountain, waiting very patiently. It's a nice angle that he's playing with there, but of course, he can be pushed. So you have to be really careful on how you operate this setup. There it is. Beautiful stuff from Electronic. Goes for a second as well. And that is the cue for Welded and Markov to also make their move. And it will be fantastic. This aggression has essentially won the round, at least given FlipSid Tactics a very strong chance to do so. A 5 versus 2. Obviously, they were having some trouble closing rounds down with big advantages on the men just yesterday. Still won the game, though, on overpass. We'll see if FlipSid can essentially close this round out without losing any players. That would be amazing in this position to really get that money going. HellRaisers in this horrible spot where they just have to more or less take insane risks. They don't have the utility to safely clear everything. They don't have the players to do so either. Just have to pick some spots and just go for it and hope for the best. They will split up as well. Trying to take some 1v1s. Nice shot there from Zero. Finds Blade. Still 4 to go and 20 seconds to plant. They've got to get their skates on.
I think Angel may have just about been spotted with the bomb on long. I think there was a shoulder peek which gave enough information. Waylander staying in short B. I know he's going for the flank now with 6 seconds remaining. 4, 3. The bomb cannot get planted, so what do you do? The flank is coming, they're running away. Will it be the 2-man spray down? Zero forced to hide in the smoke, but even that won't be enough. HellRaisers off to a really bad start here on overpass.
Oh, God. 2 players dying after time. That hurts, man. That really hurts.
On the plus side, they're at maximum loss bonus, so they can still muster something in the coming round. Pistols being purchased by the HellRaisers side, and Bondik is AK-47 and full armor, which leaves him with about 2,600. I do wonder though, so Bondik had extra money, right, which he spent, but Angel's got $600 because he lost by timeout, so I mean, he'll get, what, $3,400, still have $4,000-ish? Well, yeah, $4,000. So he can still buy an AK next round regardless, so why not? Why not? They could have more grenades, though, assuming they don't get a bomb plant in this round. If he drops to his teammate next round rather than buys in this one.
Markov is dealing justice to the HellRaisers players at the moment. And it's not really a way in so far for HellRaisers. Looking to get something done with the Deagles. Those long-range picks can be possible with such a gun, but HellRaisers aren't able to find that way in. FlipSid are playing it appropriately, taking the passive angles, playing these setups and with each other on the bomb sites. There's no need to take map control. There's no need to push. Sit back, use your utility, use your men, and you will be fine. Another attempt here from Angel. And Angel has great pistol work, generally speaking. In particular, the CZ on the CT side always seems to astound me how good he is with that. Right now, it's quite a... It's almost painful to watch, James. They're grasping at straws in this round.
It's laboured, yeah. This is like, well, this is like hard labour. Sentenced to hard labour, trying to dig with 30 seconds left. Oh, hello. Is there a chance for a bomb plant here? Blade is somewhat isolated around this pillar. He needs to get at least one more kill. Not going to get it if Angel finally gets there. Oh, hello. Again from Angel. 12 seconds, though. He's got to plant the bomb, but it's exposed. It needs to be collected. Angel, 7 seconds. Oh my God.
Surely not. He doesn't get the bomb down. This is what an awkward situation for Angel. Just kind of casually reloading in the open, and then be like, oh well, 7 seconds, better plant this bomb. Oh well, I can take this frag. Oh, now there's not enough time left. Very, very weird situation. And again, after how painstaking it was to be in this 2 or 3 versus 5, and there's just nothing. You just can't get anything, and the CCs are playing so passive on the bomb site to actually get that to a situation where it's a 1v1. That is quite absurd.
That's super awkward for Angel because again he started the previous round with $600 and like he's lost 2 rounds by timeout, which really sucks. So Not an ideal situation for him. He's down to the CZ for this round. The fabled CZ, Dan, he does not even have a helmet. A push coming in through the monster area, going all the way at flip side at the moment. Waylander trying to get another kill, but he can't quite do it. However, Bondik will be finished off by Markelov's grenade. And there's more Markelov for you, Anders. 4 versus 1. Stiko, isn't he like Guardian's best mate?
Yeah, he's Guardian definitely has tried to help bring him up as a player. And we did an interview with Stiko, you know, again a couple of years ago when he was coming up, and it wasn't to find out how his name was pronounced, but also just to find out a bit more about him. And he seemed to be back then a very motivated player, someone that was very involved with the team and would always be the team player. Like if there's a role that needs to be played by the team and he doesn't play it, he'll happily try to learn how to do that role. He'll spend a huge amount of time doing it, no matter which role it is, so he can fit that gap in the team and to not only become a better player, but to obviously be able to support the team he's playing for in the best way that he can. Not a selfish player by any means. I think someone that is certainly good to play with. So that is going to be a benefit for HellRaisers. And yeah, it's an interesting situation here because HellRaisers not really looking amazing on the money really at all so far in this first half. Ooh, we went under the water there, James.
Oh, look at that.
I don't know. I've never been under the water
I was
before.
a baby shark. And there we go. 8 rounds for FlipSid. A very solid CT half so far. And it has to be unexpected a scoreline like this. HellRaisers on a buy between the buys, a bunch of pistols, some grenades here and there. 2 AKs, a pair of AKs, twins, a duo of AKs. Electronic, he senses grenades, he sees grenades towards long, and there will be no peek from him. He'll back off. Try to waste some time with HellRaisers. Lots of rounds have gone sub 30 seconds, so it seems FlipSid are comfortable in those situations when it's HellRaisers pressured for time. Dead Fox has found difficulty so far, AWPing on the T side. I think he's got 1 kill at present. Well did it. Having a good time at the moment. 6 kills for him. 1 minute mark. HellRaisers facing long, but they don't really have the best tools for the job at that range.
Yeah, it's honestly, money has been such a huge issue for them in this first half so far. Their economic decisions and the positions they've been put in. Oh, so many targets to choose, but Mr. Weldon, will miss one eventually, and the bomb will go down somehow. And the chaos and the madness in the bedlam that is this A bomb site currently, but all the players will be cleaned out eventually, and we'll get a defuse here from FlipSid for the 9 rounds to the 1 of HellRaisers. And again, you can know that Angel, one of the few players on the T side that will equip the CZ over the Tech 9. Very hard choice to make. I love the CZ, and even I do not dare do that. The rush potential off the Tech 9 is just so powerful on the T side. But that's what he goes for. Overall, a pretty good defense here. I don't think that FlipSid care too much about giving away a bomb plant.
I feel like the original Deus Ex, Daedalus' name should have been world edit.
Yeah, that game was absolutely amazing. But look at the dangerous game that Electronic's playing. We saw previously he got a 2K out of this position. In fact, I think eventually got 3 kills in total off the back of this forward play from Electronic. They have a different setup this time. Previously we saw Markelov on the long position. Right now it's only Well that is supporting him. Oh, I saw that hitting, but it didn't quite connect. Just kind of baiting them to try to move forwards. After he misses the shot, you think, oh, I can just move forwards. But then they would move into Electronic. So let's see if that's to be the case. Well, not even required.
Blade was holding down to the connector area, but it's been given up to the T's, who will get absolutely wrecked by guns, by fire, by all kinds of stuff. And I was going to say, you know, with control of connector, it would allow Zero to move into a short B with some cover, but that has been abandoned now. Disaster has struck. 9-1 has been an earthquake, and all that's left through the rubble is Dead Fox and Zero. Dead Fox with 1 kill on this AWP. It really has not been working for him in this T half. So with the numbers down, with the chips down, how is it going to work for him now?
Oh man, that's some information. Spots the location 1 player. Nice flash work though to get some info. I'm not sure if Blade actually spotted anything. We'll see from the rotation. I think he did, because we'll see a rotation here from the CTs. We'll see both Waylander and Markelov making their way through to connector. Ooh. There is the first pickoff. Waylander, he's found the bomb. Oh, Dead Fox jumping down the stairs, finds himself the return kill, but his back will be fully exposed. And Markelov will take him down with ease.
That dirty smile at Markelov. He's like, yes.
Smug.
Very happy with himself. 10-1. Markelov loving life at the moment. 12 kills for him, almost leading the charge, but Electronic is doing so with 13. HellRaisers not really having much success in any regard at present. Only 4 rounds that they can win at this point. 10-5 is the best they can ask for. They might have thought that they had this in the bag, but the bag has holes and the shopping is all over the street, Dan. It's being raided by the passers-by.
Well, it's a hard comeback, isn't it? But we've seen so many of them of late, so many comebacks from these crazy scorelines. And I would say that FlipSide's CT side, it would have been what I was wondering about the most against HellRaisers. I know HellRaisers have a strong CT side as well, so it's not too late for HellRaisers. But you do really need those 3 rounds just to give yourself some security, something to work with if you lose the pistols. Again, it's another round where we just see... I feel like we never see a full buy out of HellRaisers right now. We've got a UMP 2 Galils, saw a lack of grenades, and they're changing the pace here, going towards A-Long quite quickly. Electronic should be able to spot some of this. And FlipSide, we can note that they've been changing their CT setup quite continuously here as well, which is always hard to deal with.
I think the issue for HellRaisers at this point is they can't afford to lose any more rounds, so they have to force buy rather than go for that half buy with pistols. I mean, they've been in max loss bonus since day, so normally they would have full buys in the next round, but at this point they don't want to be 11-1 down. They don't want 11-4 to be the best that they can hope for. They want and need and must have all the remaining rounds. Where are the CTs? That's the question. Waylander spotted towards Optimus, and Electronic will offer support while Waylander runs this fraction. 2 kills for him. Only 1 in response from HellRaisers. 1 versus 4 for Angel, wondering what on earth is going on. And he'll be sent to the heavens as well. 11-1. The worst has happened for HellRaisers.
And it's the problem, isn't it? Like when you don't have any utility, FlipSide are active enough, they're playing their CT side well enough to know, okay, Electronics saw a bunch of players towards A-Long early into the round. We have the ability to make a flash play, get some information towards sewers, and see what's happening there. Oh, there's nobody there. And then from there, they can start to deduce what's going on. Then they have a fast rotation time through to the flank. They can hold the flank if they want. They can send an extra player from B to A to reinforce it against the push. FlipSide are just able to do so much because HellRaisers don't have the utility to really play out a proper round of T overpass. And I feel as though this entire first half is really being characterized by that very fact.
3-man on road in connector for the T side. Pistols are out again. No choice but to wait for the full buy next round. Well, did it repositioning. There are some... actually, Mixwell is a nice AWP to watch around that area in terms of the places he posts up. Something for you at home to watch and learn from. But well, that he's going to get absolutely ruined by the CZ of Angel. But is this just a consolation round if it's successful for HellRaisers? It's a 5 versus 3 at present, but not everybody has Kevlar in this round. AWB collected by Stiko. Markelov, he is in a crossfire. He's got problems. We've seen good flashes from FlipSide so far, but do they have them for this retake?
Oh, almost a 2K there from Markelov and Waylander. He was coming in for the back here. We see him finally making his way onto the site, but caught by Stiko. Blade will be tossed down the stairs by Bondig. And a round from HellRaisers. And sure, I think, you're going to get some, one of those rounds every so often where, you rush in with the pistols. FlipSide can be, fine with that. You're going to concede those. But for HellRaisers to only have that work for them so late into this first half, obviously there's problems there. I feel like this might be the first big buy we've actually seen. I think this is the first full buy, right? Just the fullest of buys?
I don't think so. I mean, they should have been, their half buys should have been enough that the 3,400 gives them the full buy in the following round. But anyway, we'll see what they can do with it. Well, that it had $16,000 at the beginning of this round. He was losing money by winning rounds. A great start from the man himself, Well, that it, or the barrel of the gun spotted by Electronic, but he's got other work to do. Smartly backing off. He could stand and fight forever, but that doesn't really necessarily give them an advantage. They've got the man advantage. They can back off. You see Blade will stay forwards. And HellRaisers, they might expect the CTs to run away at this point. Oh, look at the cover. Look at the organization. Will it yield results? Will it bear fruits? That's what I'm looking for, Dan. Fruits!
Oh, it could be the juiciest of fruit. Look at that, the double there from Blade. Oh man, that is such a cool setup there. And we can talk about how HellRaisers are in so much trouble when FlipSide, when they do have a big buy, are just playing like a pretty good aggressive setup, and they seem to be consistently getting these frags. And you can see how effective this is, because HellRaisers are forced to these crazy situations. They would have had a game plan at the start of the round, but as soon as that happens, all your players are left trying to decide, okay, what do we do now? What do we actually do? What's the game plan? And the CTs are still pressuring you. They're still in forward positions. It's a lot to deal with, and some teams find difficulty in dealing with those situations.
Damn, look at that warning shot. Where are you going, Monsieur Zero? Not just for 1 versus 1, but success will be brief. Failure will be all too familiar for the HellRaisers side. 2-12. And their money has been reset. For the most part, they can buy, however, in this last round of the first half. But Stiko and Zero are broke. However, a gun will be extended to Zero very politely by his teammate. Nice.
Yeah, Stiko is the man on the Tech 9. So I wonder if we'll see him sort of trying to open things up a bit for his team, get some space, be the guy to jump through the smoke maybe, be the first man around a corner to try to draw a fire for his teammates with the AKs. We'll see if that happens. Right now, HellRaisers is trying to get some initial map control. And I like how active FlipSid have been. They've really had a mixed bag of CT setups. Aggressive, sort of, you know, medium between aggressive and being passive, and then falling back after you get some contact, and just keeping the questions there for HellRaisers and forcing them to use utility. This is a more passive approach from FlipSid. We'll see whether or not HellRaisers get into this spot where they can actually run the set piece, because I think that's what they're going for here. But it looks like Water spotted it, and the rotation's coming for the CTs.
3 guys on long. The Molotov may come too late to stop the T's from pushing, but Electronic will do the job. Well, they're delivering kills with the sniper as well. Angel with the 1 frag, but again, it seems to be, well, it was all FlipSid, but how things have turned around. It's 1 versus 2 now. Waylander, he was a hot property when he appeared on the scene. He spotted the bomb planter. There's a jumping peak from Angel with 4 HP. Bondik will give HellRaisers a 50% increase in their rounds to 3. 2-12 of FlipSid.
Well, I did say earlier that they need to at minimum get 3. At least they've done that. But of course, so much weighs on that pistol round, and so we shall see how that will go for HellRaisers. And one thing to look out for is Angel's CZ action. I'm always looking out for that every time I cast his games.
Look at that flowing hair, Dan. Look at that flowing hair. That is herbal essences all day, man. A woman, rather. Excuse me. Please, I apologize for interrupting your thought, but...
No, I was just going to say that Angel always seems to do crazy things with the CZ, so I look for that. We'll see, though, whether he gets an opportunity, because we start off with the pistol, and he'll start off with the USP. Going very aggressive into connector, whilst the rest of FlipSid are trying to push around the toilets area. Players all over the place at the moment here. Mixed success here for FlipSid. So we'll see another frag traded backwards and forwards. Just both teams vying for this connector position. Now it's 2-on-2.
It's just aiming headshots, man.
I know, right?
It is aim. It's Team DM right now. It's CSDM. Join the server. Zero left on its own. P2000. Don't see it every day. And the worst has happened for FlipSid. The birds will chirp at the end of the round. As they are FlipSid supporters. Birds wearing very small indeed, FlipSid jerseys. The 4 spy from HellRaisers, 4 CZs, and Stiko on the 5-7. Stiko looking for those Stikers in the major.
Oh dear.
Oh yes!
You've gone and done it, haven't you?
No one can stop me. I've got the mic.
I can't believe you've done this.
Let's go.
I cannot believe you've done this. Well, we got a collection of CZs here for the HellRaisers side. Just Stiko rocking that 5-7. They're going to try to get done what they can with this limited buy. FlipSid, we should expect to see a well-versed anti-force buy from them, or at least I hope so. As we can see already, you know, Electronic, he's by the, well, essentially watching a very passive position, making sure his teammates do not get flanked if there was to be a push from Monster from the B side of the map from the CTs. And FlipSid will likely look to try to finish towards toilets and A long. That's the safest way to play this round. And you can see that one of the big problem spots, one of the hot zones, is that connector area. We can see that HellRaisers have 3 players around it. And why would you go here, James? Sometimes there's teams that send like a man here with an AK alone, and I'm always like, why?
Yes, we spoke about this in the first half when it was, I think it was Electronic in there on his own, and he got 2 kills. It's a dangerous place. So when that happens, like, how do you respond in an area you know is dangerous to venture through when you have the buy? FlipSid, their CT side was spectacular, but will they have the coordination? Will we see the let's go A, I'll fake B from FlipSid now that they are on the T half? 35 seconds for them to move into this anti-force fire rounds. We've got some counter flashes here for the CT side. That could cause problems, but Zero, he's got too far. He's got too far now.
Yeah, doesn't even get to pull the trigger on the CZ. Sad times for him. Now as the T's will take over the bomb site. CT's all locked into the sewers area though, towards the short B position. And now we get the flank from Markelov. He's coming in. He's looking to deal all sorts of damage here. And oh dear, doesn't get anything done really, but he's got plenty of teammates to rely upon as the bomb ticks away. There's no, well, it's actually a kid onto Angel. But say there wasn't one, but there's a pick off from Angel with that CZ. Dangerous, ever dangerous with that gun. As he does get taken down in the end, and the CTs start to push harder onto the bomb site, but they're running out of numbers, running out of health. Just poor Steeko left. And he will meet two players at once here. Actually lining up somewhat, but he won't be able to do it. And that will be another round for FlipSid on the defense.
Are you ready, Dan? Steeko trying to get on his Hiko and clutch the round?
That's disgusting.
No?
You disgust me.
No? Oh, okay.
Can't wait to hear more. Because I'm sure you're thinking of more.
Three, well, we might not get enough opportunity, Dan, because it's 3-14. Do you remember when you were 14?
I do actually, yeah. don't suffer from amnesia or anything like that, so what about you?
No.
Don't have any memories?
No. It's all a haze of, well,
fair enough.
all a haze, let's leave it there. Tactical timeout. With a 11-round deficit for HellRaisers, there's only so much they can do in a situation. $2,000 per person. I mean, surely they have to go for a force buy. I mean, do they eco and play against match point for 12 rounds? That's the alternative. But maybe they think the fight will be better in that regard than it will be with mere pistols here versus what seems to be a very organized FlipSid team, and indeed it will be the eco. Steeko on the eco.
There it is.
With one flashbang.
You had one more.
That one was an accident, but whatever, I'll take it.
Sure it was.
Steeko on the eco.
I believe you completely. Well, it's the first frag going Waylander's way, as we see. You know, that tends to happen with casting, you know. Sometimes you make puns by accident. So I will actually, considering I just did it myself, I'm going to give you a free pass there.
Wow, that's very
I'm going to take it back. I'm going to rescind my previous statements.
Well, before you get too excited, Dan, it seems that Steeko might be running away from the repo men of FlipSid who are looking for their 15th round.
Bloody hell. Can't believe this. Well, Markov's going to find an extra player there, Angel. And obviously, HellRaisers, without a kit, without any equipment, they're unlikely to do much here. They're looking for some damage, for maybe a gun pickup if they can potentially isolate a player that gets a little bit over eager. However, that's not the case. FlipSid doing a pretty good job, and it is somewhat sad actually, because I feel as though HellRaisers are always interesting to watch on their CT overpass. I feel like that's their better side. I feel like I've seen a lot of entertaining rounds from them on that side in the past, but it looks almost as though we won't get to see them play a CT side unless they can do the incredible, James, the incredible, because they don't have the best equipment.
They've got rifles. They have saved enough money. They've put the cash in the piggy bank, and they've got themselves some M4s and some FAMAS weapons. Helmets vary. I don't know if anybody should be buying a helmet in this round from HellRaisers. They have no defuse kits, and they could do with more grenades. But here we are. It is 3-15. It is crunch time. It is do or die. It is fight or flight, and other things with a few syllables. That.
All right, well, FlipSid have taken some initial map control. They've got the stewards position. They haven't really pressured towards the A side of the map just yet. But fortunately for them, HellRaisers are playing very passively towards A, so they don't actually have that information. So that does go into the favor of FlipSid, although now they're starting to extend into the toilets position, so they'll have options available. They could always try to leave a player in sewers. I mean, this is something that G2 does very frequently. They'll play a default where they will get a lot of players clearing towards A. Shox will work his way in with grenades and utility towards the sewers position. He'll leave himself there in a really nice off angle, and his team can kind of pivot off of that very effectively. But here we see FlipSid, they have one man towards B, but it is towards that monster area, looking for pushes, as we see a big push from the toilets coming in. Dead Fox spots it though, and there's 3 players here to deal with this for the CT side, as Waylander takes a bullet from Blade there. Perhaps that's some motivation, James. Do what I say, or you die.
32 seconds remain. Electronic was lurking towards B, and I did wonder if there was going to be a 2-man push around Monster, because Zero and Steeko are in that area, and they still are now as this kill comes in towards Bondic. 20 seconds left. And it seems they have not seen the bomb, HellRaisers, but they're getting the kills. 4 versus 2. A taste of your own medicine, FlipSid, and medicine tastes absolutely disgusting. There goes Waylander leaving Electronic on his lonesome, hiding in the connector area. Have to give up on this one. Only so much he can do. So it begins, Dan, it begins.
Maybe it does. We do seem to cast a lot of these combat games of late, so don't want to...
Well, there's no comeback yet. They've only got 4 rounds.
That's true, that's true. I mean, you know, I feel as though it might be possible, though, because we have had so many lately. I feel like it's always... You should always believe, James. There should always be belief, and there should always be hope. HellRaisers do have a Dead Fox on that AWP, so I'm curious what they'll try to do with this. Obviously, when you're in this situation, you can't just say, oh god, we can't afford to make a mistake, we'll just play very passively and slow, but I'm going to have to hold that forward. We have a really fast round here from FlipSid going straight through Monster, trying to catch HellRaisers off guard. It's going to work out quite effectively. A double there towards short B for Electronic. Zero is trying to awkwardly pick up a gun in the water. Won't happen. And that's the round for FlipSid, I think, maybe, James, because there's only 2 players left. Dead Fox and Bondit. Can they do it?
Seen you win these, Dead Fox, but I haven't seen you survive this angle of Electronics. Playing patiently. His teammates don't need to peek. He can just hold this angle for days. Spots both of them. Oh, he runs out of bullets, but it's a 3 versus 1 end of the day.
That was
a violent end to a violent game. All FlipSid. There's only one side to that match, Dan. 16-4. HellRaisers absolutely dominated, crushed on Overpass like a grape.
And for me, it was really cool to see from FlipSid, just because obviously we didn't see many huge buy rounds from the T side of HellRaisers, and it was partially because when they did have the buy,